life, the bright lights, the type the crowd likes. Where you at, ballers? Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me. Where you at, ballers?
Pacers at Hornets, NBA Shot Clock, Monday, February 12th, 2024, the day after the Super Bowl. It is NBA time at its fullest. Top look in this game, over 239. This is the fourth matchup of the year between these two teams, which gives us data and it gives us access. The teams went over twice in Indiana before the new year, 125-124 and 144-113. The most recent matchup played in Charlotte on February 4th did go way under the total, 115-99. However, it was systemic to a shooting outlier. The team shot 19 for 62 from the three-point line, which is 31%, far below their average. Indiana is first in points per game, first in field goal percentage, second in pace, and these teams are 26th and 30th, respectively, in defensive rating. Books had that previous under graded at 236. They're moving it up to 239, telling you it was an outlier, and points are coming tonight. Buy this one tonight, over 239, and let's cash this ticket.
Knicks at Rockets. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, February 12th with another free pick. We're rocking with the under 220.5, a total that seems pretty low. This game is all over the place. This is just a lean for now. This is not an official play. And the reason for that is Şengün is on the injury list, Van Vliet's on the injury list, Cam Whitmore's on the injury list. Those boys didn't play in their last game against Atlanta. And honestly, that's why this total at 220.5 is so low. And that's why the spread is weird. The Knicks are 4.5-point road favorites, even though they've lost 3 of their last 4 and look absolutely terrible. The Rockets don't really look much better themselves. They need a win desperately. I think people kind of forget, though, the Rockets last year were one of the worst teams in the league. As a matter of fact, they've already won more games before the All-Star break this year than they did the entire season last year. So the Rockets will be fine. I think on their home court, that's when their defense actually shows up because their road defense isn't great. And I don't think the Knicks have enough offensive firepower with the current makeup of their roster to push this game over 220.5. So my lean for this game is under 220.5. Let's cash this ticket, y'all.
Sixers at Cavaliers, 7 o'clock. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Cleveland, Ohio. Top lean in this game, over 228.5. These teams did play in Philadelphia back on November 21st, and the game did go over in overtime, 122-119. That game back in November was graded at 216.5, and this is moving up 12 full points at open to 228.5, and it's telling you a few unique things. 1, Cleveland is scorching hot. 17-1 straight up in their last 18, and they are scoring the ball with efficiency. This team has found its fluidity. They're shooting the ball at a much better rate than they have in the last two or three seasons in this sample. And they're catching a Philadelphia team without Joel Embiid, who does not play much defense. This version of Philadelphia is Tyrese Maxey fueling a high pace, a lack of defense, and a ton of three-point shots. Buy this one tonight on this beautiful Monday, over 228.5, and let's dominate.
Nuggets at Bucks. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, February 12th with another free pick. We're rocking with the under 233. We know that the Bucks have their struggles recently, but people need to chill. They're 34-19. It's not like they're bad. They got a lot of wins. They just need to figure some things out. The problem for them is when they come up against other elite teams, which is the case tonight against the Denver Nuggets, who, because they're the better team, the team with more continuity, the team who has a fixed identity as opposed to what Milwaukee is right now, I think Denver does what they usually do, which is control the pace. The last couple of games, they've barely gotten to 90 possessions, which is how slow they're playing at the moment. They're 29th in the league in pace for a reason, because they are the most efficient half-court offense. They're going to try and force Denver to be an efficient half-court offense, which they were for most of the season until recently, where all of a sudden their guys can't seem to make shots. So give me the under 233 because I believe the better team, Denver, is going to control the pace, which always leans towards the under. Under 233 is the official. Let's cash this ticket, y'all.
Bulls at Hawks, 7:30 p.m., State Farm Arena in Atlanta. Another top lean, over 236.5. Let's discuss. These teams met back on December 26th in Chicago, and Chicago did win the game 118-113. Back in that portion of the calendar, the Bulls were hot without Zach LaVine, and Atlanta was historically poor covering spreads and shooting the basketball on the road. In that particular game, the total did go under at a 235, and this is moving up to 238.5. And you say to yourself, why? Atlanta has turned a corner. Atlanta's playing excellent basketball. They're covering spreads. They're winning games. And they're quickly skyrocketing in the Eastern playoff picture. For those of you guys who follow Atlanta closely, you know the obvious. This team wins basketball games because of an extremely high pace and an extremely effective offensive rating. This is not a defensive team at all. That game on December 26th was a shooting percentage outlier. Both teams shooting 8 to 9 points under their season average from the three-point line. Quarters 2, 3, and 4 all went over 60 points. The first quarter was an outlier, 45 points, which kept the total under by 4. Expect a track meet tonight with a ton of points. Buy this one at over 236.5, and let's cash this ticket.
Pelicans at Grizzlies. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, February 12th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Pelicans -9. Y'all know I do not love laying double-digit spreads. I know 9 is not double digits, but if you're laying 9, that means you need to win by double digits. So it's basically the same thing. Now, I do feel comfortable in this specific spot, fading the worst team in the NBA, the Grizzlies, who kind of made that official by losing to the Charlotte Hornets by margin the other day, two teams that were on long losing streaks. The Grizzlies' offense has never been good, and that continues to be the case with their laundry list of injuries. The last 5 games averaging 104 points, but more importantly, in the last 5 games, they're allowing 121 points per game to their opponents. This Pelicans team is one of the better teams in the league, had an impressive win at the Clippers on Wednesday. I don't love that it's their 3rd game in 4 nights all on the road, but again, this Grizzlies team is just not an NBA caliber team at this present time, which is not their fault. Injuries have taken their toll, and we're going to take advantage as cappers. So give me the Pelicans -9, and let's cash this ticket, y'all.
Wizards Mavericks, 8:30 p.m., out of conference basketball. We're buying the home team -14, top lean. What's going on here? Washington is actually an effective road team. 14-12 ATS on the road and 4-1 ATS at the West. Here's the key point on that. That is only 1/3 of their Western calendar. And I think at 80% cover rate, they're far too hot. And this line is suggesting a reversal. Dallas is actually very poor at home against the East, which again would surprise you as to why we're leaning towards Dallas here. I think this reverses itself as well. Dallas is 2-7 ATS at home against the East, catching wind, catching momentum, and really scorching hot from the field, having just lit up Oklahoma City with 146 points in their previous game. This is not going to go the other direction for a couple reasons. 1, Washington does not defend. 2, Washington plays at a pace Usain Bolt would be jealous of. This game projects to be wide open, and it projects margin for Dallas. In a game played on November 15th in Washington, Dallas did cover the spread, 130-117, -7.5. This moves up at open to -14, indicating no revenge is coming from Washington, and margin is imminent tonight in Dallas. Top lean in this game, Dallas -14. Let's dominate.
Warriors at Jazz. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, February 12th with another free pick, and we're taking the over 241 in this Jazz Warriors game. I've already seen 241.5, so that number is probably going to continue to get steamed up. Two teams that simply just don't defend. Weird spot for the Warriors. Played like 5 straight road games. Went home on Saturday to play Phoenix. Now they're back on the road at altitude against Utah. A Utah team that was super hot in January. They went 10-6 during that month, and they were averaging 126 points per game, which was by far the most in the league during last month. The problem for Utah is during that span, they only went 10-6 while averaging that many points because they were allowing 122 points a game against. This month, again, small sample size, their average has gone down to 121, but they're still allowing 120 points a game. So the wins are not coming as fast as they were because their defense has been lacking. Speaking of the month of January, the Golden State Warriors were the worst defense in the entire NBA during the month of January, allowing 125 points per game. Yes, they've been much better in February, but again, small sample size. I'm going to need more than 4 games to believe that you've turned the corner defensively. All of these things lead me to over 241 in this game. Let's go ahead and cash this ticket, y'all. Wolves at Clippers. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, February 12th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Clippers under 4.5 against Minnesota. I feel like I'm getting the better team at a short line. I had this game capped last night at -5.5. It came out at -3.5. I took it at that number, and I'm taking it at this one too. -4.5. I think it's going to be a close game, which does not suit Minnesota. I've been talking to my homie Sharky about this angle the entire season. As good as Minnesota has looked, when the game is close in the fourth quarter, that's when they're the most uncomfortable. And it's because they don't have a traditional point guard. Mike Conley is not the Mike Conley that played for the Grizzlies that was able to drive and dish and do all of these different things and be a dynamic borderline all-star guard. He's mostly a spot-up shooter now. And they really struggle to get quality looks at the end of games, whereas the Clippers, they get quality looks on almost every possession. And the numbers show. Minnesota is a -6.9 in terms of net rating in the clutch. The Clippers are +17. Give me the Clippers, the best team in the NBA for the last 2 months. Let's go ahead and cash this ticket, y'all.